Hi, Brandon. You look like you strained your neck dancing there. Uh-oh. Call a doctor. You can't shake yourself so violently while listening to this song.
I can't. I like it.
Injuries will occur. It is a good beat. Speaking of that song, which was written and performed by some guy named David Fesliyan, found him on the internet under music that you don't need copyrights to. What do they call that? Open source music, whatever?
Sure. Why not?
So then I went to his page, and I found that if you use his music, all he wants is you to cite it a certain way, you know, when you list it on YouTube or whatever, which I've done every time. Now, for our pre-shows, we have a different music. I don't think you listen to the pre-shows, so you might not know the music of which I speak, but it's also done by David Fesliyan.
Do we have music for the pre-show?
It fades in and fades out. Yeah. I add it after we're done, right?
No.
So last week, and I always credit him. So last week, our YouTube video got dinged for two things.
What?
The boys are back in town.
Ah.
And David Fesliyan's song. And I'm like, wait a minute. I have always, since I've used this stuff, cited it the way it's supposed to be cited per his instructions when you download his music. So that one, I don't know about. But yeah, the boys are back in town. Thin Lizzy. Hello? You can't use our music. What?
But it's such a good song. Maybe we let it play too long. What is it like?
I only had like 7 seconds in there.
Next time 5.
Yeah. So they didn't like shut the video down because you could still watch it.
Yeah, they just like
I can't monetize it when we get to like in 2029 when we get 1,000 subscribers and the watch hours, and we can, or maybe it's 2039. I don't know. We can't monetize that video. So whatever. You'll be like, I'll be wheeling up to the camera in a wheelchair by then, and you'll be on, limp over.
What'd you do this week, Mike?
I played backgammon.
I had a solid shit the other day.
It was great. I even wrote it in my book. I had a solid shit today.
See, there it is right there.
I'm Mike Marrazzo. That's Brandon Silveira over there.
I'm going to laugh if you're pointing this way and I'm actually over there.
Well, over here, you're over here. So I can do this
this
too.
Way.
He's over here.
It's this
way. And
Maybe
these guys are Grogu. Got 2 Grogus behind me tonight. March 1st is the first episode of season 3 of The Mandalorian. I was so excited. I couldn't wait to sit down and watch it until I looked on my phone calendar and saw that I will be in Atlanta getting ready for Workbench Con and be hanging out at Joey's house that night.
No.
So I don't think we're going to watch it down there, but March 1st. If you're waiting for The Mandalorian season 3, March 1st. That's when it is. I just opened my Google feed and I see Daredevil's on there. Now I got to read this story before I get when we're done. I'm so excited for Daredevil joining the MCU. I only watched She-Hulk for the Daredevil appearance.
If you listen closely, you can hear Mike heavy breathing into the mic. He's Daredevil. He's going to be a part of the...
Matt Murdock.
The blind lawyer, yes.
To be fair, I only have a man crush on Daniel Craig as James Bond. Who's the other one? I think that might be it now.
He made an appearance in The Force Awakens.
Wait, I don't remember that.
Yeah, he's a stormtrooper.
Oh, was he uncredited?
No, I think he's credited, but he's the one that Rey does a little Jedi mind trick to get out.
Oh, how come I didn't know that?
I don't know. I would expect you to know that.
I have not seen Glass Onion yet. Is it? Oh, it got released, right? That's the. Did you see Knives Out? That awesome movie on Netflix with him?
No.
And like a ton of stars. Jamie Lee Curtis, a bunch of stars. That's a murder mystery that takes place in a house, and he plays a Texas private investigator.
Okay.
He's like the scene stealer of that whole movie. Well, there's a new movie out. He still plays the same character. It's another murder mystery.
Okay.
It's not. It's a Knives Out story. No, not a story.
Oh, but it's like same
standalone.
world.
Yeah.
Okay.
It says Glass Onion, Knives Out story. It's going to be released in theaters and on Netflix 1 week after the theater release.
Oh.
So I'm looking forward to that because his character's awesome. You gotta watch the first movie because you'll really enjoy it. So I got some stuff here.
You got some.
Oh, look
some
at that.
Stuff?
I put tape over it so I can put my sticker there.
Uh-huh.
And I didn't want to paint it and then drill through it. And I had already drilled the holes there, so I didn't want to paint to go in there. So I laid a sticker over it and I drew a circle. Sticker would be, and I didn't have to paint that. I just put tape over it. It'll be covered by a sticker. So I got that going on.
So I got that going for me.
Which is nice. How was your week?
Fucking squirrel.
Dog, bird.
Well, the
Sick week.
This last week, yeah. I think I ended up having to call out twice this week. Would have been nice if it was consecutive days, but like freaking, it's like every other day.
How many days do you guys get for the year?
I forget how many because I went like 2 years without using a single sick day, and then.
Do yours carry over?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, we don't. No, we don't get that.
There's dudes that are retiring that have like thousands of hours.
That's awesome.
I mean, for them.
Yeah. I mean,
So.
we're not allowed to do that, so I think
No.
we
are.
get a total of because we work 12s, right? It comes out to 4 days off, 4 sick days, 4 in our field of work.
Yeah, 'cause you're not dealing with dirty,
No.
disgusting people.
Right. And if you need more time, you then need a doctor's note for like maybe 15 more times. And then it goes into catastrophic, sick days. You actually have to be missing a limb to get paid.
Well, I mean, that's pretty catastrophic. So.
Yeah. I actually went, 2006-ish, I had knee surgery because, I had a torn meniscus and a bone bruise and all this other bullshit. So I was out of work for 8 months.
Man.
And after I used my sick time and emergency sick time and catastrophe sick time, and then I didn't get paid for several months. So I was just sitting at home, not getting paid.
That's insane.
Yeah, it's stupid. But that's why you should get Aflac. This is not sponsored by Aflac in any means.
But if you want to sponsor us, Aflac,
right.
Go ahead and give me a call.
Yeah.
We'll set something up.
But yeah, you should have some type of supplemental insurance if you don't already.
Yeah.
Just an insurance guy. I am licensed in life and health insurance. I have been since 1998. But you should get a policy for supplemental health insurance. Just a public service announcement there. And back to you for the week. You were sick.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't sick this week. It was everybody else.
Oh, you were sick last week.
Yeah. I mean, I still went to work, but.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, just curled up in the patrol car going, God, this fucking sucks. I want to go home.
Did your friends all tell you to get away from them and don't come in the squad room?
Well, I mean, we spend 90% of our shift out in the field.
Yeah, but you have to come together for roll call.
Yeah.
Before and after, right?
Yeah, that takes about 5 minutes.
So like Brandon, stand in the hallway and we'll, like the Russians when they play chess and they relay messages from one guy in the hall and he runs out to you to tell you what's going on. He runs back to the hallway to get a message from so they don't do that?
No.
You sit in the room with them?
Yeah.
Okay. I guess it's easier that way.
No, the only thing was one of my buddies looked at me and goes, hey, you want to ride together? I go, no, dude. I'm not feeling good today. You should probably not be in the car with me.
Do you have that option to ride with someone?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Big city, Mike. Big city policing.
Yeah, but then it takes one car off the street.
What fuck, dude? We don't have enough cars to go around anyway. Sometimes people double up out of necessity.
Okay.
Because fucking the city in its infinite wisdom reduced the number of certified mechanics that can actually work on these cars from 2 down to 1.
Well, at least you had
major police department, by the way.
Yeah, well, now which is really bad because for those who don't know, we have 1. He's been in Hawaii or something for fucking, I don't even know, 8 weeks. He's on vacation. I went to write up my squad the other day. First of all, I went to write up a squad I was driving because all 4 tires were flat. After I got in from my shift, I noticed. So I went to write it up. We have a clipboard. You walk in our front door. There's a time clock. Next to the time clock is a clipboard, and that's a service thing. You just write up the squad, either mechanical or electrical equipment. I had to thumb through like 14 fucking pages of people's squad shit that's gone wrong till I could get to a blank page to write my shit on it. And then I went past the guy who already wrote up that squad for having 4 flat tires. It was like 7 slips before mine. I didn't even see it. But yeah, so we have one guy, he's gone. I have no idea who's fixing these cars.
Yeah, it's gotten to the point now where they just start cannibalizing cars. Because even if they have to send it out, there's no parts and everything's so slow now.
Right.
Because everyone likes to use the excuse of, oh, it's supply chain stuff.
Yeah.
It's a supply chain. Like, no. It's just like anytime, you remember the first time gas went over like $2 a gallon and everyone was losing their mind? They were like, we just got to get through this and then it'll go back to like being 85 cents a gallon. Yeah, it hasn't gone back down.
I was putting gas in my car when it was 85 cents a gallon. You weren't even born.
I was born. I remember seeing it at the Chevron and not really comprehending just how cheap that is.
Yeah.
And then I started driving and then gas hit $2 a gallon and I had a 30-gallon tank of my 89 F-150 and went, fuck.
Yeah. It gets pretty pricey.
Like, this is not fun. I don't like this at all. I don't like driving.
Screw driving.
Yeah,
Unless
screw that.
mom and
Public
dad
transit,
are gonna
let's
fill my
go.
truck.
Yeah. I got 1 free tank a month.
So I got a date,
of the
honey.
week.
What time do you want me to ride my bike over to your house so we can walk to the bus stop and take the bus to the movie theater?
You can stand on my pegs.
Right. Yeah. Front pegs or back pegs?
Well, back, you got to see where you're going.
Okay.
Front pegs are for when you're parked and you're making out.
Oh, that's right. She can then lean in over the handlebars if she's standing on the front pegs. Yeah, or he. I don't want to judge.
Well, it was the early 2000s, so, she. We were still big fans of,
him and her.
Yeah.
He and she.
We knew which bathroom to use.
Right.
There was no confusion. It was just like, hey, I like girls.
Or, hey, I've got a penis. I'm a boy.
Yeah. I know what I am. That's weird. I know what parts. And this video is going to be demonetized pretty soon, too.
Let's fast forward 20 years and try and guess what that's going to be like.
Oh, my God.
Society.
We're all going to be like Ken dolls, just smooth. We're not going to have anything.
No hair?
And that's if the world still, nothing. Just
okay.
Plastic. All plastic.
Hopefully, when I'm living in the woods in my house and the ranch, I won't know what's going on in the world.
I'm going to live in a van down by a river.
Yeah. Someone might already be there.
I'll kill him. This is
a big
my
guy.
van now.
He's a big guy. He's already.
I'll befriend him.
Dead. Okay. Anything crazy happened while you were riding by yourself? Oh,
not this week.
So one last point. The Chicago, only their day shift gets to ride solo. Afternoon shift, night shift, 2-man cars.
Yeah, because it's safer that way. You can. Yeah. It's more efficient because you can send 1 unit to a call versus sending 2. And if we're getting into the whole kinder, gentler thing, it is more low key to have 1, maybe 2 cars there than to say have 4.
Right. Yeah. We often wave off cars because it looks too oppressing.
It looks scary. Not oppressing. It's scary. It scares the public. And God forbid you block a street.
Yeah. Well, we let the fire department do that.
Well, no, we had to do that.
They're really good at it.
There was no need for the fire department on the domestic violence suspect that was using his 9-month-old child as a human shield that I can't really get into because I'm pretty sure that case is going to get...
Well, that's the reason we couldn't record last week.
Yeah, because I was already feeling not great, and then I spent 10 hours standing out in the cold.
Now, when you say cold, Brandon.
Okay, California cold. It was in the 40s. It was in the low 40s.
Oh, okay. All right.
So it gets chilly, especially when the sun goes down. I was just happy that I was able to eat lunch before the call came out.
Do you get headaches like me if you don't eat on time?
No, I get really pissy.
Oh, you get hangry?
I get very hangry.
But I get hangry too.
I had a nice brisket sandwich.
A brisket sandwich on white bread?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm interested.
So we got a barbecue joint.
Okay.
In my beat. So on Saturdays we go to Sam's Barbecue and we enjoy family dinner. And we were sitting there BSing, and all of a sudden that call comes out, and it sounded like a nothing call. And then I get there, and then it's still kind of enough to kind of like, all right, cool, it's a DV. I'll just arrest this guy and, get my knife off and running. And hey, dude, why don't you come down here and put the kid down and let's just talk and get this. No, man, no, I didn't do nothing wrong. I'm like, oh, God damn it. Don't be this guy. Don't be this guy. Don't be this guy. Don't be this guy. Like, come on, dude, just come down. It's no big deal. We just got to talk, get it figured out. No, man, I know what's going to happen. I'm going to come downstairs. Y'all are going to arrest me or y'all going to beat the shit out of me. Like, you're half right. Which half is up to you?
To beat the shit out of him half?
I mean, as the night went on, I really wanted to.
How long did that go on?
All night. He barricaded for 5 or 6 hours before we finally ended up getting... We kind of screwed ourselves over on it because in our county, when you're arrested for domestic violence, it's automatically, there's no preset bail. You have to see a judge.
Right. 72-hour hold or whatever.
Well, I don't know how long it was going to take.
You can't go home for 72 hours.
Because I don't work the jails, and California is different than like every other state. So, but I do know that you have to go see a judge, and I think that on Saturdays the next available arraignment is like Tuesday. So,
yeah, no weekend court.
Yep. So this was taking so long, we were starting to consider, like, are we going to have to call out the department SWAT team? Well, they're going to want, if they come out, they're going to want some sort of paper in hand that says we can go get this guy. So we authored a arraignment warrant. For those of you who don't know, a arraignment warrant is an arrest warrant where you just bypass the district attorney and you go straight to a judge. Well, the judge sets a bail amount. The bail amount in this was like $75,000. So once he was arrested.
Is that 10%?
Yeah, I believe so, yeah. I've never had to post bail.
I know, but
I don't really care about the bail laws in this state because half of everything these days is $0 bail. So it's too infuriating for me to waste my time to learn.
Yeah.
Because I also don't ever deal with it. Now, if I was getting a cut of like, like, hey, this person has a $20,000 warrant, you get $2,000. Like, then I would learn the bail laws real quick.
Yeah, you'd be benefiting from it.
Yes. It's like if you incentivize taking bad people to jail, more bad people would go to jail. Anyways, I digress. So the reason why I say we kind of screwed ourselves over was this guy, the second he was arrested, there was a bail amount set. So he could have posted bail and gotten out first chance versus having to go see a judge on Tuesday and having to spend a little bit of time in jail thinking about what he had done and why he was being bad. Because this dude, I mean...
They don't care, though.
No.
What's that going to do?
I know. But got to call out the night detective, who was also our union president, and lieutenants out there. And I'm just sitting there going, I hate this. I hate everybody. I like to low-key things. That's the way I do policing. Sometimes we'll do some sketchy shit, and we'll tell you about it later. As long as it gets the job done and we're all safe. I don't like a whole big to-do. And this was a big to-do. Did you guys
call a SWAT team out?
No.
For a hostage barricaded subject?
I did call my old boss, who is now one of the SWAT team sergeants, and go, hey, buddy, if your team's on call, I'd stop drinking now.
Well, if they're on call, they shouldn't actually be drinking. Just saying, from someone who's been on call for 12 years. When it's your turn, you don't do that stuff.
Yeah, you're not supposed to, but,
Okay.
Shit happens. Shit happens on Saturday nights.
Yeah.
No, he ended up coming to terms with, dude, we're not leaving, and we're getting to the point where we're going to come in and we're going to grab you, and it's going to hurt. So he came out, and then he went to jail.
Where were his kids after he was using one of them as a shield at the beginning?
Yeah, so the kid fell asleep and was in his crib, and then he came out.
Okay.
So I was quite irritated with him and his handling of the situation. So I also charged him with child endangerment.
That was your call?
Yes, it was your
paper call?
Yeah, it was my beat, my call, my case. Okay. So I'm the one that
yeah.
was talking to freaking his family to get him to have them call him and get him to come out. And
then the next call is DCFS.
Yeah. Well, the mom was fine. She was an okay person.
It doesn't matter. Can't have one of them. Yeah. So for people don't know, one bad parent, DCFS.
Yep.
That's all it takes. 2
bad parents. Bye-bye
foster
kid.
home. Yeah. Unfortunately. Or fortunately for those kids, sometimes
it's
they
usually
can
fortunate.
be saved. Yeah.
I've only taken like 4 kids from parents. But like 3 of them were all from one parent, so it only counts as like once in my book.
So you've impacted 2 families.
Yes.
Yeah. I've had a bunch of run-ins with DCFS in my long tenured career. Most of the time the kids go right back to the house, but I've had a number of occasions where they've been placed and taken away from the families. Thank God.
Yeah, I've had a few screaming matches with one particular social worker. Maybe the phrase, "I shouldn't care more than you,"
came out.
May have come out of my mouth.
Well, just speaking the truth.
Yeah, it's true. And then I said some other mean things, but we don't talk about that.
Yeah. The best case agent for DCFS I had come out, his name was Kevin. And I only remember this because this was one of those moments that you'll never forget. I had to call him because I had arrested a woman for drugs and whatever else. She was at the hotel. She had a kid with her, a baby under 6 months old. And there was a complaint for loudness in the room. And housekeeping went there. And they tried knocking on the door. And when they opened the door themselves, housekeeping, this woman's having sex on the bed with someone eating a cheeseburger, who's the person who's participating in it. He's eating a cheeseburger while they're having sex. And the kid's on the floor, baby's on the floor, in this mess. So I called DCFS and I have to give all descriptions of the case. And the guy goes, "Hold on, wait, what?" And I go, "So she's getting banged from behind while the guy who's eating a cheeseburger while he's banging her, and the baby's on the floor in a pile of garbage or whatever." He goes, "What?" I go, "I swear to God." He goes, "All right, I'll be right out. I'll be out in an hour." I'm like, "Okay." He shows up at my police department. He stopped at Wendy's to get me a cheeseburger.
I like this guy.
It was fucking awesome. I go, "What's that, dude?" He goes, "Oh, I brought you a cheeseburger."
Thanks, I'm starving.
Oh my God, it was fucking awesome, man. I wrote his number down on my notepad. He goes, "I couldn't believe the story, so I had to get you a cheeseburger."
I'm just trying to think of the mechanics of it all. Like, that's a
One
lot
hand
going on.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, like one hand on the hip, but do you go dominant hand or do you go non-dominant hand?
Right, because you got to spank it sometimes.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, you're gonna have to transition, and then you run the risk of maybe slapping too hard, and everything goes to shit right there. But
right.
So I really don't know. I mean, like, would you go cheeseburger in your offhand or?
I'm offhand. I'd have to offhand.
I think I would go offhand as well.
Yeah. Fuck.
What kind of cheeseburger was it?
The one he was eating, or the one that was brought to me?
The one that he was eating. Like, was it Wendy's? I mean,
I think there was a Wendy's bag on the floor.
Okay. Well, now I have more questions. Like, what kind of burger at Wendy's was it? Because you can't get one that's like really saucy.
Could it be a smokehouse BLT?
Because, well, it's got to be something compact, or he's got to have big hands to really grab onto that thing.
It wasn't a Baconator.
Well, yeah, I mean, because if you're eating it, right, you're going to have, if it's a saucy one, you're going to have patties sliding around. You got to contain that shit.
Not only that, but the sauce will then drip down and then
that's just lubrication.
Yeah.
So I have a lot of questions, and
I won't be able to answer them for you.
This is going to haunt me all night.
However, I did put an image in your head that you can't get rid of.
That's hilarious.
It's my best DCFS call ever. Oh, shit. The things we see, Brandon, are here.
So how was your week?
It was good. It's good. A few weeks ago, the president came in town. We had to block intersections for the motorcade, which was like 60 cars long. And he ended up staying at a hotel 500 feet out of my town. And
so out of your town.
Yeah, like I drove around the hotel he was at a couple of times because I was hoping to catch him outside. hey, hey, Biden, what's up? So I wanted to yell, "Let's go, Brandon!" as I drove by.
Ooh.
But it was pretty cool to see. I've had to do that numerous times for various presidents because O'Hare is right next to
It's right
my
there.
city. So we end up blocking traffic all the time for the president motorcade. And I don't care who the president is. When you see the motorcade,
It's pretty cool.
it's very impressive, right? And it's like, hey, the president's in one of those cars. But
Eeny, meeny, miny, that one.
yeah, it's pretty cool. So I drove past the hotel, and the city that he was staying in, that's just north of me, they had all their public works trucks out, huge dump trucks, all blocking driveways to the hotel. You know what I mean? It's a 4-lane highway in front of the hotel, down to 3. The curb lane going southbound all closed down. When I drove past, 3 times, you could see all the Secret Service guys even outside, just sitting outside on the U-shaped driveway. It was pretty cool. So that was neat to see, even though I didn't get to see him.
Speaking of the president, it's really funny.
The president?
Well, I mean, yes, but it makes me laugh. Like the people that hate him.
Yeah.
Which I'm not a fan. I think he's up there with Jimmy Carter as worst president ever. But I think it makes me really laugh when people are like, "Oh yeah, he's, something this big." I saw something it was supposed to be a tweet from some other president talking about how America falling, something so powerful could only have been brought down so fast from within. And then someone had said like, "Oh yeah, he's talking shit to Joe Biden." I'm like, "You're giving Biden
too much credit.
You're giving him a lot of credit. You mean to tell me you think that geriatric fuck is capable of that level of thought?"
Yeah, no. He doesn't even know what he's having for breakfast.
You can't call him a dummy and then say that he's so smart that he infiltrated and took down America. No, you have to pick one. You have to pick one, and you have to roll with that one.
Right.
Even if you think you're wrong at a later point, you got to stay with that one and just ride that one until you die.
Yeah. I went on a domestic or an ambulance call. Stop me if you heard this one.
Followed an ambulance. I still I'm just blown away that every medical call that requires an ambulance you guys go to.
Yeah, we have to.
Yeah, that's stupid.
758. Take the old lady who fell out of her chair. Needs to be put back in.
No.
I never go in. I don't go in. I just sit outside.
These are the ones that we go to. Hey, ambulance rig 33 is asking for PD to respond, however, whether it's, code 3 with the license sirens or just, when you get a chance for a possibly combative patient. Patient's 93 years old.
Right. Right.
I legit have been dispatched to that, and I have asked for the dispatchers or for the paramedics phone number over the air.
Nice.
And then call them and go, "You mean to tell me you can't handle a 93-year-old person?"
Right.
Because it doesn't matter if you're male or female at that point. You're 93. How old are you?
It's best when they go, paramedics are staging, which means they're waiting for you to make the scene safe.
If fire's going to stage on this, why?
Yeah.
This seems like something that they should be handling.
Right.
I'm going to only make it worse.
I went on a call for a heroin OD.
Oh, that's fun.
And it was a rookie's call, and it wasn't going to be my paper. So we all roll over there. And by the time I get there, the first officer made contact. And the guy's, at first he was unresponsive. And then apparently some prostitute he was with revived him. And
she's got to get a good tip.
She got the tip.
Good for
I don't know if he gave her the rest of it, though. Anyways.
Well, he paid for the full hour.
Really
slow on those.
Yeah, I know. I had to reach for it. So he's like, he comes out of his death look, I guess. And he looks around. There's a bunch of cops standing around. And he goes, am I under arrest? And I said, cardiac arrest. The fucking paramedics lost it. And then I left. I was out. I just had to say my piece and go.
Thank you. I'll be here all week.
Here all week. Try the veal. By the time I got back to the station, the paramedics had called ahead. I walked into the squad room. Everyone's like, cardiac arrest. That's a good one. I'm like, who the fuck talked to you? Oh, the paramedics called. I'm like, come on, man. I can't take these druggies anymore. I'm like, I'm running up the stairs. No Narcan on me anymore. I don't fucking care. You're going to kill yourself because you're going to OD over heroin. I don't even care anymore. Fuck it. Just go ahead and knock yourself out. I've had enough. So apparently I'm just voicing that now to these people who are ODing. So
we actually, speaking of ODs, we had 4 since Thanksgiving just on my radio channel. We had one on Thanksgiving.
That's not good, man.
We had Thanksgiving pizza while we were waiting for the coroner.
Okay.
Amongst the rats and the other homeless encampments.
Didn't I tell you about that time that I had to go and take pictures of a dead body at the hotel? So I show up and we got a new guy who was just released. He just left our department. He works somewhere else now. But we were supposed to have pizza that night. So we order a pizza and then we get called to this motel for this dead body. And now I got to go process it. So I'm like, I'm starving. I didn't get my pizza. And my boss goes, well, I'll send the pizza over by you. So we go to the hotel and I'm taking pictures. The guy's laying on the bed and I'm photographing the room and the rookie's standing outside the room. I go, come in here, help me out. Start taking notes. So he comes in and then my buddy Drew, he's a Chicago firefighter now.
He's a fire guy now.
Yeah, Drew shows up. He's got the pizza. He goes, pizza's here. Where do you want it? And I go, well, don't bring it in here. Put it on the steps outside the door. Because these are the motels that have the doors on the outside of the building with all this, stairs. 2-story. Tom Bodette used to leave the light on for you. So we put the pizza on the stairs and I said, I'm starving. I hold my camera. I tell the rookie, what are you doing? Go out and eat my pizza. He goes, well, there's a dead guy right here. I go, I ain't going to give any. And I'm not going to drop it on him.
I don't think he wants any.
I'm not sitting next to him eating it. Aren't you hungry? He's like, no, I can't eat now. I'm like, okay, more for me. So.
Fucking pussy.
Yeah, dead guy. Who cares? Eat your pizza. It's before it gets cold. You got to eat the pizza.
The most tragic thing of the Thanksgiving OD was this lady either rolled over and died on top of her dog, killing her dog.
Oh, no.
Or the dog also got into the drugs and OD'd.
Tony Soprano would not be happy. You killed the fucking dog? All right. Other shit later. Thought I'd have one more. Oh, okay. I'm just going to say this one last thing. Over the weekend, I had to bring someone to a bond hearing. So Saturday night into Sunday morning, we have to be there at 4 in the morning on Sunday morning. So this guy got arrested Thursday night midnight shift, made the stop at 4 in the morning. Guy was driving with his brights on. So my buddy Raul pulls him over. And he says to the guy, the reason I stopped you is because you're driving with your bright lights on and you didn't dim them when I flashed my lights at you. And he goes, it doesn't bother anybody.
Bothers me.
Raul goes, well, it bothers me, and that's all who counts. Give me a fucking driver's license. Long story short, the guy had 63 false identities on him.
Jeez. That's
so
excessive.
He gets arrested.
Naturally.
9 warrants, 3 different counties, different cities, and
different names.
Oh yeah. Raul worked, so he went into work that night at 7 p.m. Thursday night. He left Friday afternoon at 5 p.m. because he had to be on the phone with the state's attorney office. They at first didn't want to give any charges. They wanted Raul in our department to call all 64 victims of the IDs he found and get statements from them before they would charge him. So then he refused because we don't have the manpower to do that. He said, I want to talk to your boss. And then the boss gets on the phone. Same thing. Raul finally talked him into, listen, man, we got to do something. We can't call 64 people. We don't have the resources to do that. But I've got 64 IDs on him. And then it's got all these aliases. So they ended up charging him with 29 felony counts out of the 64 for the ID stuff. So I got to bring this guy to the bond hearing, which takes place at 4 in the morning. So the paperwork itself, there's a huge checklist of what you have to have. State's attorney needs their copies. You need 3 different packets. Usually it's, half an inch thick. The fucking binders put together were literally like 5 inches tall. We took notes. I photocopied everything. I had checklists. We put it all together. And at first, the rookie was going to take him because he's low man. He's got to take the bond hearing. And he's like, I did it once. Well, that's good. You only need to do it once. And he's looking at the stack of papers. He's like, yeah, man, I don't really want to bring this one. What if something gets fucked up? I'm like, if something's fucked up, it's fucked up. Fuck it. I'll just do it. I'll take him. So I get to the jail. I put the cuffs on. At 3:00 we leave. The county jail's 12 minutes from me on a midnight shift. You know, it's just right down the road. So we get there at 3:15. We're sitting out front. There's no one there. The empty parking lot at 3:15 in the morning. I told him, listen, man, we're here first. We can get out first. We'll get your cuffs off you first. Get you in first. Get you home first. Like, all right. At 3:55, he goes, motherfucker, take these fucking cuffs off me. I don't give a fuck anymore. I'm going to start kicking shit. Like, you start kicking shit back there, we're going to have a bigger problem. Just sit still. 5 more minutes. 4:00, they bring us downstairs. We park. We get out. I walk them up the line. We're standing against the wall. Still have to have the cuffs on until county clears you. They take them. They take the cuffs off. One of the cities brings in this black guy. I forget that the county now has body cameras on. Just let me say that right off I forget because I don't have them. So this guy's leaning, this offender who's handcuffed is leaning over the railing. He's supposed to be standing up against the wall, steps forward, leans over the railing because down below is 2 big tables, 4 deputies. They're handling all the property. They're doing making sure all your shit's together. And he's yelling at the officer who arrested him, you know, this motherfucker's coughing on me. Because you said he got coughed on. He's making me sick, you know, all this other shit. Right now, his wife's at home getting fucked by a big black dick. He's just yelling all this stuff. And he goes, there's one female deputy. She's down below. She's doing the property stuff. And her name's whatever. I'll just call her last name of Smith. Come on, Deputy Smith. You know every time I'm here, I treat you with respect. And then I had to say something. Every time he's here, how often is this guy here? You're at the fucking county jail. It's like a regular stop for him. And that's it. And then the one county looks at me. She points to her body camera, gives me the quiet sound, Ixnay on the Amrique. I'm like, God damn it. So finally, 6 minutes of him just yelling and screaming at the arresting officer. Finally, the deputy sheriff sergeant goes, someone take this motherfucker out of here. Take him out of here. He's hurting my ears. So they move him past me. Everybody gets to move past me because my packet is 6 inches thick. And while they're going through it, every other person gets taken in instead of my guy. And now my guy's, he's walking in circles and take this motherfucking cuffs off me. So finally we got him in. And they're like, the guy who was getting reamed out by the black guy, he's standing next to me. He's like, how many felony counts has this guy got? I'm like, I don't know, 29 so far. It's like, why don't you just indict him? I go, dude, it ain't my case. I'm just bringing him here. You know what the hell the county works.
I'm just the taxi.
I'm just the taxi. But that's how I ended my night. Listening to that guy. It gave me a headache. I'm going to punch him right in the face. But yes, he was making us laugh.
I also found out that our county jail, the intake kind of Sallyport area, apparently has really good audio and video. So
recording.
So we have to actually deactivate because there's a medical component of the intake process.
Okay.
So per HIPAA, it's like, okay, you got to deactivate when you go in to process it. Well,
okay.
During that kind, a lot of times you're a little bit more free with what you say. And like I've had just flat out conversations like, look, dude, like this is all off the record. Like I just am going to ask you questions like, why the fuck did you do it or something like that. And I don't use it, against them because I can see the issues in court, but sometimes just to satisfy my own curiosity, sometimes you end up talking shit to them.
Right.
And then one of my bosses goes, yeah, he goes, did you know like down there they have really cameras, like really good audio? I go, well, fuck. I go, well, probably going to be some IA complaints that are going to get sustained.
Yeah.
Not criminal, but definitely going to ding me on courtesy.
No courtesy. You're going to get bad courtesy complaints.
It's my current IA complaint. It involves courtesy.
Yeah. We just openly badmouth people. I don't care anymore. Well, if you're stupid enough to get arrested.
The ongoing joke I had with my recruit. I'd be like, or something like she'd kind of make a joke or something because at times I could get grumpy. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm a ray of fucking sunshine on a cloudy day. And then she'd look and she'd laugh and she'd go, right.
Uh-huh.
And
Thanks.
then I'd look at her and go, yeah, remember relationship with FTO is a graded category,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
Oh, yeah. No, you're awesome.
Thank you.
All right.
Well, I have I'm transitioning. We were talking in the pre-show to the investigations department on the 19th. So it'll be 4 days a week, 10 hours a day, Tuesday through Friday. The first week, Monday through Thursday. So I'm looking forward to joining people that are up during the day, walking around and talking to people, friends, but my
You might want to get
lieutenant,
some sunscreen.
yeah, my
There's
lieutenant said
the
to me,
moon during the
moon?
daytime is very bright.
It's very bright and warm, I hope.
Yes.
So when I found out on accident, because the commander was telling my sergeant without putting out a memo to anybody, he goes, and be prepared to work. There's no 2-hour coffee breaks when you first come in. I'm like, 2-hour coffee break? I'm on a 12-hour coffee break every night. What are you fucking talking about, 2 hours? So now I'm going to have to learn how to, dive right in, I guess. It'll be fun. I'm looking forward to it. I'm also
rediscover the work ethic.
Yeah. I'm also a little nervous, so. And then if there's a couple people in the department who are mad, of course, because you know how the guys are. Why does he get to go in? Why don't I get to go in? I know I've got 10 years less experience than him, but why don't I get to go in?
Because fuck you. That's why.
We got a lot of that going on. I'm like, whatever, dude. It's all temporary. My buddy who's going out for surgery, he's thinking he's actually going to be replaced. I'm like, they're not replacing you. I'm just helping while you're away. And then I'm going back to night shift February 1st. So relax. And in the back of my mind, I hope Mike's doing such a good job. Let's just fucking leave him back there. And then I can stay 5 more years.
There you go.
That's what I'm hoping. But that ain't going to happen. All right. Well, in between the last time that we recorded 2 weeks ago, we've had, I think, one police officer that died in the line of duty. But just in case, I'm going to say 2 because the last one might have been added after we were done. So from the Charlotte County Sheriff's Office in Florida, Deputy Sheriff Christopher Taylor, end of watch Tuesday, November 22nd, 2022. Deputy Sheriff Christopher Taylor was struck and killed by a drunk driver while conducting a traffic stop on I-75 at 8:45 p.m. He was standing on the shoulder of the highway with the person he had stopped when the driver of an approaching vehicle lost control of her car and struck Deputy Taylor's patrol car. The patrol car was pushed into Deputy Taylor and the person he had stopped. Deputy Taylor was transported to Shore Point Health where he succumbed to his injuries. The other person who was struck suffered minor injuries. The woman who had struck Deputy Taylor had just completed probation for a prior DUI charge. She was arrested and charged with DUI manslaughter. Deputy Taylor had served with the Charlotte County Sheriff's Office for 15 months. He survived by his parents and his fiancée. From the Yonkers Police Department in New York, Sergeant Frank Galdino. Sergeant Frank Galdino was killed in a vehicle crash on Tuckahoe Road at 3:30 p.m. He was driving westbound when an oncoming vehicle lost control and collided with his unmarked vehicle and a transit bus. Sergeant Galdino was transported to a local hospital where he succumbed to his injuries. The bus driver and passengers were treated for minor injuries. The 16-year-old unlicensed driver who caused the crash was transported in critical condition. Sergeant Galdino had served with the Yonkers Police Department for 24 years. He was due to retire in August of 2023. He's 53 years old, and he's survived by his wife, daughter, and son. That's it. Thank goodness, not more. But, and I was talking to Brandon before we started recording the pre-show, an officer of one of my friend's departments committed suicide this week and left behind a 4-year-old daughter. And that got Brandon and I talking about the suicide hotline for those of you that need help.
988.
Just dial 988. That will get you someone immediately. So if you know of anybody that's having trouble or you yourself are having trouble, please, please, please reach out to people that can and will help you.
One thing I've heard someone say was, don't seek a permanent solution to a temporary problem.
Yeah, because once you go down that road, there's no turning back. So
yeah, there's no reset.
No.
Okay, let's be less depressing, can we?
Yeah. It's almost Christmas. I don't know about you, but all of a sudden...
I said less depressing.
Damn it. I hear this a lot. Hey, Mike, I know it's almost Christmas and you don't have a lot of time, but can you do this for me? So
really,
do you have any of that?
Like a hey.
Yeah. Yeah. Do
Hey,
you have any of that going on?
God, yes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't think it's anything where people are like, oh yeah, just put me, for your list or something like that. I think it's legitimately just people who shop at the last second.
Well, that's me.
Because I know I was planning on doing my wife's Christmas shopping probably when we're done here.
Online, of course.
After I go check with her. Yeah, dude, I'm going to freaking strip down to my underwear, get into bed, and
nice.
Spend some of my
Fondle some keys
money
on your phone.
Yeah, and sit there and
yeah.
Add to cart. So, yeah, it's I actually woke up yesterday morning after like kind of laying things out of everything I need to get done because I had finally gotten everything all caught up. And I was like, oh, cool, I'm all caught up, and I could probably take on one like custom sign or something, and then like some of the Etsy stuff I could do. I go, but I think I'm pretty much done. And then all of a sudden, it's like I put that thought into the universe, and all of a sudden, phone starts going off, and there was a 5 ornament order, and then yesterday I woke up to a beer caddy order that has been up on Etsy literally all year.
Awesome.
All year.
Did you have one made already, or
no?
This was something you took a picture of. You made something prior.
Yeah, so I made one for my brother-in-law.
Right. Okay.
I took pictures of it. I'm like, I'm going to put this on Etsy. Like, this seems like something that would do well. All year, nothing. And then finally Sunday morning, I wake up and like, hey, there's an order for a beer caddy. I'm like, son of a bitch. And then I'm doing a Carolina Panthers logo sign.
Ooh.
And I was at the Goodwill. Look, I gotta say something here about Goodwill. If you have a Goodwill store near you, go there.
I do.
Go there. You can find all kinds of shit. So I found like a 2-pack of the LED strips.
Okay.
For like $10.
How many are in there? Like, how big is the strip? Feet wise.
It's supposed to be big enough because it's the kind that were designed to go on the back of a TV.
Yeah. Okay.
And then plug in there. So there's enough for 2 60-inch TVs.
Oh, okay.
So a good amount, and I don't need a ton. Like, talking the Panthers logo is going to probably be maybe that big.
Okay.
So enough to go around there.
Nice.
So I got to do that. And a cutting board and a set of slate coasters that I've gotten done. Another badge to get done. So the nice thing was, not nice thing. I feel kind of bad because we had a death in Annie's family. Like her great aunt, who's like 102.
Okay.
Passed away.
Sorry about that.
We're gonna go to the funeral today, but because everyone's sick, we're like, no, we're gonna stay home. Well, I had already written off basically this entire weekend.
All right.
And now
it's getting a shot. Yeah.
It was like, oh man, all right, moment of silence. All right, now I got to work. So laser was going. I might be doing, and I got to wait for my buddy to sign off on it. Laser engraving a photo of his dog.
Oh,
and like on a plaque.
nice.
Dog is not dead. Just
good
for what it's worth. Well, it seems like the kind of thing that somebody would get after their dog dies, right?
George Vieira from Nowhere VA Woodworking asked me to engrave a picture of his dog on a wooden plaque with the CNC. So I tried it. And it doesn't come out well. Like it was a no-go. Laser might work better.
So I'm able to do it with the laser. Like I did that for a buddy of mine, his friend, their family had an infant death that they were kind of anticipating. Like it was born with a neurological disease and died after 2 hours of life. So there's a picture of all their hands.
Oh yeah, I remember that thing.
I think I sent it to you, and I engraved it and put it on a nice piece of cherry. And
amazing.
So it comes out pretty well if you can, get stuff kind of dialed in. So I was playing with that today, and then once we're done here, I got to go spray polyurethane on the other side of the beer caddy pieces so I can assemble it tomorrow. I've got a sign that it's an Abraham Lincoln quote, like whatever you're going to be a good one. That sign's got to get, I think, vinyl on it tomorrow. I got to paint the backer. I got it primed, but I got to paint it. So moving. And Full House has its own bank account now.
Woo!
So
I like that.
That's fun.
Yeah, good.
But it's kind of the main stuff that's been going on here. Finished the bread box.
Woohoo!
Which didn't really feel like I finished it because it's kind of cool because the girl that I'm building it for, friend of Annie's, and she's actually like taking woodworking classes, and she's super into like homesteading and all this stuff, and is off social media at all, and like just out in the sticks doing the things that we all want to be doing.
Yeah.
So she's been taking woodworking classes and stuff. She's like, "Oh, I mean, if you can build it, like I want to finish it." I'm like, "Okay, fine. Like, I'll sand it up and build it and put it together." And she's gonna put the glass pane in the door.
I was wondering.
And then do whatever finish she wants. But
good.
It's it went from very quiet and chill to holy crap, I got a lot to do.
Yeah.
Like I wrote it out all on this whiteboard that I got at the Goodwill store. And
of course.
Like wrote it all out and stood back and looked at it and went, oh boy.
Yeah, that's what I use my whiteboard for.
Well, and after calling out on Saturday, which is my Friday, in my head, I'm already thinking like, oh fuck, I gotta go back to work tomorrow. No way, Kim Wasabi, I got one more day. So I got a whole day tomorrow to get, I'm hoping to get everything done except for the Panthers sign. I'm hoping to have that, maybe the layers cut. But other than that, I think I got everything else done, ready to roll. So
good. Yeah.
What last second fuckery are you dealing with?
Well, I'm remodeling that family room. So I haven't, first of all, for 6 weeks from October till just last week, I hadn't been in the shop. When we recorded our last podcast, was the first time I'd spent time in the shop, short a 1 bottle opener order. I was really in a bad place mentally. I was coming down here and that jointer was in the middle of the floor and really didn't want to deal with anything. So I didn't do any work down here. And I hadn't had any orders except for that 1 bottle opener. So finally I thought I squared the fence on the jointer, pushed it, got it off to the side, and now I want to be down here. So Marty Wosek from Red Leg Woodworking, he had someone reach out to him on his Facebook business account. A kid who's in the Suburban Police Academy right now wants a flag. Marty's too busy. So Marty gave him my information, and this was this past Wednesday. And the kid reached out to me, and he wants to get a blue line flag for their class commander, who's a police officer at another suburban police department. So I'm like, okay. He goes, can you have it by the 16th? So for me, that's like open a calendar, and how many shop days does that give me?
That's 11 calendar days from today.
Yeah, but shop time, it's 6 days in the shop. That's all I got. So I'm like, okay. So I shot him some prices. Yeah. And I said, you get poplar, pine, do you want LEDs, all this other stuff. So he settled on pine, and it was supposed to be for a sergeant. Then it turns out the guy is going to be promoted to a sergeant, but he's not a sergeant yet. So I sent an email to the chief of that department where this officer works when he's not teaching at the police academy, and asked the chief, can you give me a patch? I found a patch online, but I wanted to make sure I was using the right image, and I need an image of a badge. The chief sends that to their IT guy, who then sends me a picture of a silver badge, and then tells me, well, that guy's not a sergeant yet. He's still a corporal. So I'm going back and forth with the kid who wants the flag and his department of what rank this guy is. So finally the kid with the flag, he agreed on a pine flag, no LEDs. It'll say supervisor, what's his name, their class number, and that's it. I'm like, okay, good. I'll start it. I'll get the wood. I'll start it tonight. Okay. Tonight I wake up. He sends me a message. He's in the academy, so he sends messages late. He wants to add LED lighting. Now I don't even know if I've got blue lights here, because when he asked me about it 5 days ago, I could have ordered them, but now I have to check my drawer to see if I actually have blue lights. Then he wants to add another engraving from class whatever, 3 and 4, however that works over there. So I'm like, all right. So it's a last minute flag. My hair's on fire. I went this morning before I went to bed to Menards to pick up the wood for it. So I've got pine for him. And while I'm there, my best friend, Bill, his wife wanted 2 company flags with their company logo on it for their owners. And then my buddy Vince texted me last night and he goes, hey, have you ever seen a flag like this? And it's a half White Sox, American black and burned flag with the Sox logo, and the other half on an angle. It's got the burn mark in the middle, and then it's the Chicago flag, the white and blue with 2 of the red stars. He goes, can you make one of these for my dad? Like, when do you need this by?
Christmas.
I go, do you need it by Christmas? Because I got all of a sudden 3 flag orders. And he said, no, his birthday is not till February. I go, okay, I'll get the wood now. I'll cut everything now. Maybe I'll be able to get it for Christmas. He said, okay, but don't stress yourself out. If it's not ready for Christmas, that's fine. So while I was getting the wood for that flag and the pine for the academy flag, I saw this before at Menards, but they have alder. I don't know much about alder. I've never worked with alder. It's really nice looking, clean or clear. It is a hardwood, just near poplar, but more of the white heart of the wood. So it's really light colored, which I like a lot. There's no like green tint in it like in poplar. So I bought one. I'm going to make one flag out of it for whatever. I don't know what kind of flag I'm going to make out of it. But I bought that. And I should have some left over the pine after I cut it to length. I'll have some left over, thank God, because the woman I built the kitchen island for today asked me if I can make a family sign for the chief of police, who I did a flag for. Oh, shit. It's a Christmas gift. I hope he's not listening. It'll say the so-and-so family.
Whoopsie doodles.
Whoopsie. Like the guy from
Just bleep it out. Just bleep it out.
Yeah. So it'll say his family name established in, whatever the year is. And she found it on Etsy. And I was starting to tell you about this in the pre-show. It's just burned pine. And it's got she said the stain she wants is a pecan. So I have to go get some pecan stain in the morning. But 12 by 6. Guess how much the one she found, the woman that's selling these, has got 1,200 sales. Guess how much the sign is? It's a wooden pine sign, 12 by 6, with the name the so-and-so family established
right?
in.
12 inches
12
by
inches
6 inches.
by 6 inches.
Okay.
It's burned pine, so it's burned and then stained, and it's got the white wording on it. It's either hand painted, which I'm going to do, or the cricket. I'm going to make a template, put it on, and hand paint it. But how much would you sell that for?
Oh man, here's the thing. What I sell things on Etsy for is drastically different than what I sell them for person to person, because Etsy has to get their cut, there's sales tax involved, there's all this other stuff that I have to account for that comes out of my cut.
Right.
So on Etsy, the shipping on that's going to be a bitch. I'd say probably about $200, like just off the top of my head.
No.
Like close to 200
for pine, 12
For
by
pine.
6 pine,
Yeah.
burned and painted
Well, okay, hold on. Let me.
or stenciled.
So it's not 3D. It's just painted on there.
It's either painted, hand painted with a stencil, or they put the graphic on. They put
so
the
it's not
Cricut
like
vinyl.
it's not like 3-dimensional. Like she scroll
No.
sawed out something and put it. Okay, that fuck.
Yes, just stencil.
Way less than that.
Yeah.
Maybe like what I charge for one of my flags, like maybe 120 to 150, somewhere in there.
Okay. The sign that she sent me the link to it, so I could look and see, and it's just 2 keyholes on the back, so it can hang in. It's got 5 little hooks for keys, so it's a key holder.
Okay. Yeah.
5 little hooks. $19.
That's it.
And I don't know how that can be.
Dude, there's people that have legitimate like in-grain walnut cutting boards for like 40.
How? I don't understand that pricing.
The only thing that I can think of is that it's so like I'll use Mike Coffee as an example because I think the people that listen to this show probably know who that is. So Mike has his furniture shop, but he also still has his Etsy store, and he has his own website and all that stuff. And I think what that has to be the people that are listing things that are insanely cheap, and Mike's doing kind of the opposite, where he's jacking his price up because he doesn't want to use Etsy, but he refuses to quit it because I think it's like heroin. But I think what they're doing is they're taking all their offcuts and to them,
right,
bigger shops, that's going to be a loss. It's a net zero,
of course.
So if you can repurpose it and make a walnut cutting board, and you can guarantee you're going to sell it for $40, that's $40 in your pocket.
Well, that's how I do the bottle openers. Offcuts.
Yeah, so that's how I do most of my bottle openers is offcuts that people don't buy. So,
do they look?
I have a lot. I have a lot of offcuts. No,
I still have to put the gold on here, but
they're all blanks. We're just laying around, and there it goes. Oh, I hope the paint's not screwed up.
Oh my God, it's a little nick, son of a bitch. Wow. Okay.
What you should do is you should clip that, and then whoever ordered that, just like post it somewhere and send them a link to it.
Okay.
But I think that's the only way that works, because I've seen that stuff before too. Because before I list things on Etsy, what I'll do is I'll search that product, and I have a price in my head, and then I go through the Etsy listings and I look at it, and then there are some that are like a third or a quarter of what I would be charging. And that's the only thing that I can logically think of, is that this has to be a bigger shop that has bigger things, that these are offcuts that they are just trying to get rid of and put a little extra money in their pocket.
Well, because I told her, I looked at the link and I told her, okay, $20. I'd never make this for $20 for somebody.
No.
Right? Because I would charge $50. But she goes, I don't mind paying more because I know I'm going to get quality from you. Now, this is a return customer who I'm still going to build built-in bookshelves at her house. I mean, this is a continuing customer turning into a friend. But I said, no, $20 is fine, because she was going to get it for $19 from that person. I'll do a nicer job. $20, it's $20. It's fine. I don't mind. But when I relist them, because I'm going to take a picture of it, and then I'm going to list it on my Etsy shop, and it ain't going to be $19. It will be.
You could do that. Would class it up a little bit.
Put a frame around it.
Well, I mean, you could do that. But the name.
Yeah.
Take like an 1/8 inch downcut, upcut, or whatever size you have. Cut it out on the CNC, and it'll be a 3-dimensional thing.
Oh, like engrave the name in and then paint it white?
No, not engrave it. So
I'll put it on top.
Yes, put it on top and paint that, and then you just there, and it pops out at you.
Right. Well, I have to have that cursive file. You know what I mean? Which I think I do in the CNC. I know I have it in my Cricut, but maybe for the future. But she wanted it hand painted.
Oh, if I did the
CNC work, I'd have to charge $50 because I have to sit at the computer, all that stuff, wear and tear on the machine and the bits and all that. So that would be a $50 one.
That's been the toughest thing for me to figure out, is what to charge for like laser work. So I think I settled on like It's $20 an hour with a 2-hour minimum.
Okay, that's good.
So if I can get it done in an hour and a half, you're still on the hook for 5 hours.
Right, of course.
2 hours. If
2
I get
hours.
it done in 30 minutes, you're still on the hook for 2 hours because I had to fire my computer.
Yeah.
I
Well,
don't like firing up my computer.
The company flag that I was supposed to do for my friend's wife, she sent me, I screenshot an image of the company logo, but it's from their Facebook page and there's really no digital high def image of it. So in order for me to make that cuttable on a CNC, I'm going to have to spend probably 2 to 3 hours redesigning it and cleaning it up and making everything perfect, you know, with the vectors and stuff so I can use it. So it is, when I have to do some custom work like that, I have to add more. So now, anyways, this kid wants me to, so today he today with the law enforcement flag, he sends me back another message today. Oh, I'd like to add LEDs now. How's the flag coming? I'd like to add LEDs. Oh, and one more saying. And I'm like, all right, well, I might not have the lights for you. So I have to check when I get in the shop. But the saying, okay, I can add another line of engraving for you. But for this pine flag, it was going to be $235 before the lights. So it'll be $265 for the flag. And then my wife's, you know, she asked me the other day, she goes, do you have a picture of your Blackhawks flag you did? One of my friends might want one. I'm like, yeah, but tell them it's $300 because there's no way I'm doing another one for less than $300. Yeah. So my prices are going up. I'm starting to raise my prices.
I am too. I've gotten to the point where it's some of my prices, and I actually had this happen. One of my, so a buddy of mine's ex-wife, she got us in the divorce. So her and Annie are close. She lives out in Tennessee, so they actually met up for lunch before her flight home.
Oh, cool.
And she saw a bunch of the work I was doing, and then she messaged me like, hey, if I wanted to do like 25 ornaments, like custom ornaments where they're, you know, in the shape of a kite and they have this on them, how much would that cost? I'm like, okay. So bulk order, I'll give you 15% off and I'll waive the design fee. And it was something like, it was almost $400. I haven't heard back. It's been like 2 weeks.
You should follow up with an email.
Well, it is
what, you know.
I know. It's one of those things of like, at this point though, I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
Because I would have to order more 1/8 inch material. And then it would that's probably laser run time, probably 5 hours. And that's before paint, for sanding, priming, painting, assembling, packaging, and shipping them off. Well, now, if she had committed to it early on, that would have been great.
Right.
But at the same time, like now it's like that. All that is stress.
Yeah. And so tonight I have to cut the wood for the flags, but I have to also edit this. So the pre-show can go on tomorrow, or at 3:00 in the morning this morning in a couple hours. So I'm going to cut all the wood and I'll probably stain the wood for the law enforcement flag. I usually wait a day because of the air, but I'm just going to fucking stain it tonight. So tomorrow I can actually glue it up tomorrow and put the lights on it if I have the lights here. And then I have to work for 2 days. So the weekend I can engrave it and then hopefully it'll be done by Sunday. And I was going to make, Don Can gave me, when I left his house in Pennsylvania, he gave me a bunch of 1x8 hemlock boards that were on his deck outside. He was building a deck for his new shop. And they're patinaed, really gray on one side, not so bad on the other. And I was thinking, I want to make 2 flags. That's why I bought the alder. I want to make 2 flags for myself just to put on Etsy. One of them is I want a We the People flag. I think that's still 50 stars, right? It's just I got the font, the We the People, it goes across the bottom of it.
I mean, if we want to be historically accurate,
or is it the 13th circle?
If we wanted to be historically accurate, when the Declaration of Independence was written, there were 13 colonies.
Well, I was going to do a 13 colony flag as well, but maybe I'll just make that one 13 colony with We the People on it.
Yeah.
So I was going to make it out of
I think you
that
can
wood
just
he
put
gave
We
me.
the People on anything and it'll sell.
Okay. So I'm actually going to make,
especially if you put like 2A in there and then like a gun, like you market that shit right, and you'll be a millionaire.
So I wanted to use that wood that he gave me for a flag, but my question was, do I clean it up, like run it through the planer, or either use the dark gray patina wood, which would be pretty cool, or the other side, just sand it and then just use it like that. So it's kind of a really rustic flag. I'm not sure.
I would say
Can I show you the wood?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
All right.
We've reached the point in the show when Mike leaves to go get something off camera. So, well, he's coming back. He's got some wood in his hand. Not that kind of wood. Again, you can go to Mike's OnlyFans page.
Right. To see my wood.
At Marrazzo Hairy Nipple.
So this is the patina side. This has been sitting outside of his house probably for 2 years out in the weather. It's weathered pretty good. I think this is hemlock.
I don't know. I'd have to taste it.
Other side. So if I just sand
like
this
that
down,
side.
You like this side?
So I think, in my own 2 cents, I think that side for if you do a 50 star, but the patina side for the Betsy Ross.
Okay. All right. And it's rough. I wouldn't want to sand it because all this patina would come off.
Yeah.
So maybe burn. Every other stripe gets burned. So it's gray stripes, gray and burned.
That could be cool.
That'd be pretty cool.
I
Not
think
red,
the
white,
patina
blue.
side would look really good as a Don't Tread on Me one.
Oh, speaking of that.
I know. Set you up perfectly.
Yeah.
To not talk about anything.
Right. I'm going to text you right now the reason why.
It was on Instagram. It's not a surprise for anybody.
Well, it is if someone doesn't have Instagram. So that's why I was able to put it on Instagram.
Oh.
Because it's not on.
I think I'm picking up what you're putting down. It's not on Facebook then.
Nope, not on Facebook.
Yeah, I knew it. I guessed it.
Okay. Yeah, so that's going out soon. That was the other project I finished. Oh, and so the shelving, and I'm done. I started doing the shelving for the family room. I got poplar. I cut them down width and length, and then I made the face frame for the shelves, which is 1.5 inches of poplar, and then I used pocket holes, glue, and brad nails to put the face frame on each shelf, which makes
shit ain't going nowhere.
No, and it makes it more rigid, so it doesn't bend under pressure of books and stuff.
There's a dick joke in there.
There's a dick joke in there. I then took Craig Jig plugs, those pine plugs, plugged all the holes, sanded them all down. I put the wood filler over that. I got to sand that down smooth so you won't be able to even tell that there are pocket holes in it, and then I can paint them, and then that part's done. That's why I was asking you about the LEDs. I want to add LED lighting on the inside of the face frame of the bookshelf. So when you turn on the family room lights, those go on and shine light into the bookshelves. One strip up, and around, because that room has every outlet on the right plug is a lamp, basically a lamp switch.
Yeah. So
in the bookshelf, under the bookshelves in the cabinets, there's an outlet on each side. So I would be able to plug it in to the lamp, quotation, air quote, part, and then wire it up, and then it could go on when the lights are on. So, and it'd have to be dimmable.
Look on Amazon.
Yeah, I will. I didn't know if, but I was wondering why. One other last thing. My Christmas gift came early. My buddy Danny, remember I told you he sold me a 77-inch TV?
Yeah.
And then it crapped out, and I had to throw it away.
Yeah.
So
it was very sad.
It was very sad. And then I was watching a small 50-inch television.
Yeah. It's so small.
It's small. So it turns out Danny said, it's an LG brand, OLED. And he bought a brand new one last year, a 77-inch OLED. And he told me that they were on sale at Costco. Well, I don't have a Costco membership. So I went and got a Costco membership.
Good.
So we went to Costco to get the...
Did you get the basic one or did you get the executive one?
I got the executive.
Hell yeah, you did.
Yeah, I did. So we went there on a Sunday after
the black
a Bears
card like
game.
I do. All right, cool.
Which is ridiculous to go on a Sunday after a Bears game because it was
that's dumb. You don't ever do that. That's a rookie move.
But the TV was on sale.
And was the sale going on Monday?
He bought like the 77 CM version. Then they came out with the 77 C1, and now it's the 77C2. So it's like 2 versions later. It was on sale. So I went to go pick it up, and we're standing. I tell the 2 people, the salespersons or the floor people, whatever you call them, can you please put that TV on that cart for me? And they're like, okay. So they drag it over. They put the TV on the cart, and then the guy goes to me. He goes, hey, this TV here, this one that's showing right here, which is not the 77-inch, it's a different one. This TV's dropped down in price $1,500 since it came in. And I'm like, oh, he goes, we have one left. It's an 83-inch OLED. And Kim looks at me and goes, you're on your own. I'm going to go look at Christmas shit. And then she walks away, and the woman goes, you heard her. She just gave you the okay. I'm like, put that sucker on the cart. So now I have an 83-inch OLED in my living room. And
that's fantastic.
At first, I had it on the stand, and I put it on the entertainment center that we have there. But I wanted to put it on the wall. So I had to buy a stand, TV wall mount. And I wanted one like John Erickson got him and I put up in his shop that pulls out, and then you can turn it.
Yeah, that's like what I have in the living room.
Okay, so basically, so I can get behind it when I want to, because I had a Chromecast back there, and
yeah,
I
love that it stands like mine. We have the fireplace mantle. It sits low.
Yeah.
So you really can't use the mantle, but it sits flush with the very front of it.
Okay. Yeah,
you can access everything back there super easy.
Yeah, and that was I wanted to be able to access stuff. So Kim's cousin's husband came over to help me put it up on the wall. On Thanksgiving, I mounted the mount myself, trying to measure the center of between the chair rail and the crown molding and where the mount would go, and then how high up, because once it's mounted to the TV, it's going to be lower or whatever. So I figured it all out, and then I bought a new receiver, a Sony receiver. You plug all your HDMIs into the receiver, one HDMI to the TV. So I got no 7-channel surround sound. So I have him come over to help me put the TV up on the wall. And it's too fucking high. And he goes, well, and he had to go home because he had to go to bed. He had to go to work. He goes, I'm laid off next month if I can come back and help you lower it, because it was really too high. So I waited till my son came home that night, and I'm like, can you just help me for 15 minutes? Just take it down. I'll move the mount down, put the TV back up on the wall. So now it's all done. The wall's a mess behind it, like you took a machine gun and shot holes in it. I don't care. You can't see it because the TV covers it. When I move, whatever, someone's gonna.
That's somebody else's problem.
It's someone else's problem. But yeah, so I got the new TV up there. It is unbelievable. It makes watching football. It's crazy. The heads are as big as me, or bigger than me when they do close-ups. I'm like, holy shit. So that's exciting. Now I'm truly watching theater stuff. So we have an opening to the dining room to our right of where the TV is, and the hallway's behind us. And I said to her the other day, I'm like, can we put curtains up behind here and then curtains over there in front of the dining room? So like when we have a movie and we shut the lights off, there's no like light coming from the hallway or from the kitchen. We just pull the curtains close. So I don't know if we're actually going to get to that point, but we might. Well,
if you do, the next step will be to get one of those little motorized things you can put on the curtain rod.
Yeah.
Close. You just push the button.
That'd be awesome. All right, that's all I got. I wanted to show you these, but I want them to be a surprise for him.
You did show me those.
I mean, I wanted to talk about them in the show, but I'm going to send them.
Oh yeah, no, you want
as
that to be a surprise.
So
yeah.
I'm going to send that stuff. What's it look like next week for you?
Shit.
I'm off on the 11th, Sunday night.
There's nothing in the calendar currently.
Is there a Niners game at night or no? Check your football calendar.
No, the Niners should be the 1 o'clock game. 1 o'clock, 1:30. Nothing's been flexed for the Niners.
Okay.
So Brock Purdy versus
let's see who you're going to lose to.
Tom Brady.
Week. Oh, God. In San Francisco, though.
Yes.
That's a home game.
Yes. It's a home game.
And the Cowboys have the Texans.
God, that's going to
be.
They might win by 40.
Yeah. Let's hope.
Yeah, but okay. So I think we were talking about what in the pre-show about Purdy.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the remaining schedule for the Niners. All right.
I'm Purd happily. Sorry.
You're home against the Bucs. You're at Seattle. Home for Washington. At Vegas, and home for Arizona.
Wait, one more time. Let's go over.
Okay. Home for Tampa.
I say that's a loss, but go ahead.
Okay. Road to Seattle. Home against the Commanders.
That should be a win, even though Washington's playing really well.
Yeah. In Vegas for
That
the
should be a
Raiders.
win. Yeah, it's a win.
And home for the Cardinals.
That's a win. So 3 and 2. I say they go 3 and 2.
You saying
4
3
and
and 2?
Yeah, 4 and 1 minimum. 3 and 2 most likely.
I think they go.
That Seattle game's going
to be tough.
Yeah, it is.
That's a tough one. That's tough for any quarterback to go into Seattle and play. But I think 4 and 1. I'm calling 4 and 1.
Okay, I'll say 3 and 2. And then Cowboys are going to win out. We play the Eagles on
the dark
Christmas.
Horse game in that is that Cardinal game. Arizona always plays San Francisco tough.
Is it
unless
Arizona?
They're in Mexico? No, it's home. Okay. The Mexico game was the
Arizona home game. Okay. So well, it'll be interesting. The last 5 weeks will be pretty interesting. I can't believe it's only 5 weeks left.
I know. It seems like the season just started.
Oh man, it's already over. Almost over.
Hey, are the Sox going to really trade Liam Hendricks?
What? What are you?
You haven't heard this rumor?
Just pull this out of your ass?
No, it was on Bleacher Report.
No, I haven't heard that. What are you talking about?
Here,
I did hear that Ronaldo Lopez might be a closer one day, but I don't know about that. I mean,
Liam Hendricks in trade talks. All-star White Sox closer has been discussed in talks with other teams. Has limited no trade clause.
No, nothing would surprise me now. I mean, we're not signing anybody. We lost Abreu to fucking Houston for God's sakes. Wait, hold on. We signed Mike Clevenger. I'm having a cardiac arrest fucking wind up. Guy gives me a heart attack just watching him wind up. But yeah, I'm really just disappointed in the whole White Sox organization. Yet again, another year of just we have such a good core and whatever. I know I'm jonesing for baseball though. So February 24th when camp opens up, I'm going to be excited, but it'll fade.
People ask me what I do in winter when there's no baseball. What I do is I sit around and I wait for baseball.
Right. That's what we do. All right. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for watching.
And I'm going to say stay safe in the shop, and Brandon's going to give you a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, you should probably email questions to handcuffs&sawdustpodcast@gmail.com. You can DM Mike at Marrazzo Woodworking, me at Full House Woodworking, or you can even DM the show at Handcuffs and Sawdust Podcast. All on Instagram. And Mike's got some YouTube shit.
Some. All right. Be safe. Peace out. Goodbye.
Mike's flustered. Bye.
Ghostbusters. Filibuster. What
the fuck?
I dropped this motherfucker.
Is it okay?
It's got one little mark on it. And I can't touch it up. So you know what I did find out? Because it's spray paint.
Yeah. You just put down like a piece of cardboard, just hold a piece of cardboard and just
or tape around it.
I mean, yeah, if you want to take forever.
What I did find out is when I peeled off the tape, this is one piece of wood. Now, the two ones I made previously were 3 pieces of wood. So it was easy to paint this red and these blue and then glue them together. But then you don't have I don't care how hard you try to glue up 3 pieces of wood that were just cut from each other. And it's not always perfectly flat, right? So anyways, I pulled the tape off of here after painting it. And then it pulled some of the paint off because that's what tape does.
Yeah.
But I did find out that I then took a can of Varathane water-based poly.
Okay.
And I sprayed it on here. Now, that comes out like this. It doesn't come out smooth. It literally leaves spots all over whatever piece that you're spraying.
Yeah.
Why they can't get that to come out right, I don't know. So then I let it dry. And then I took a gray Scotch-Brite pad and I sanded it down. And then I took polyacrylic and a foam brush and brushed over it. And it got rid of all the imperfections. And now I have this little scratch here. So I don't know what I'm going to do. Whatever. But I did like your idea of sending the image of me fumbling their bottle opener.
And you could put one of those little sticky arrows that they put on like contract stuff and just pointing right to that spot.
Nice. All right.
I'm going to go make sure nobody's dead.
You go do that, and I'm going to start editing this thing so I can actually get to work in here and cut some wood.
All right, sounds good.
So I'll talk to you later. Have a good night, and peace.
Deuces.
Deuces, brother. Bye.
See you, bud.
Bye.